Hi, welcome back to Stickletown, and I believe it's week 11 of our challenge to eat what we have here and to start using up what's in the pantry, what's in the freezers, etc. And also, of course, we're dealing with the cost of living crisis. On top of that, this week has been a really tough week. We've had horrendous freezing conditions, and that's put a lot of extra work onto us, trying to keep animals fed, warm, plenty of bedding, having to haul water up to them several times a day because their tanks are all frozen. And so it's been working sort of into the evenings, and here in the kitchen, because of the way the building work's been going, we come down in the morning and it's sort of 4, 5, maybe 6 degrees if we're lucky, and overnight temperatures have been dropping to sort of minus 10, 11. We had one night where it dropped to 12 and everything was just sheet ice. It's been awful, absolutely awful. I did manage to get to a farmer's market on Friday, and but it wasn't very busy because not many people were coming out and about because of the weather conditions. Saturday's farmer's market was cancelled because of the ice, making it very unsafe for people to come. Sunday, again, the farmer's market on Sunday was cancelled, even though it had started to rain, but it was raining and then freezing, and it was just layer of ice building upon layer of ice, and we couldn't even get off the driveway. So that one was off as well. So we did collect. When did Martin collect the meat? He did go Sunday. Was it Sunday morning? Yeah, Sunday morning. That's when he found out the drive was really bad. It's now Monday. He went and collected the meat from the first lot of the pork joints, etc., and chops and so forth from the butchers. And the butcher, bless him, had been pushing it through, in the hope that we'd be taking it to the farmer's market. And of course, he then had his own issues because he's in the area which is without water because they've got massive pipe bursts. So he couldn't make up our sausages. So Martin took him over, I think, 40, 50 litres of water to help him out, and collected what meat he had done to bring back with him. And I've just been out this morning and picked up the sausages, although of course there's no more markets now this week, so that really sort of upset the apple cart a bit, but never mind, we'll survive it. Overnight we had high winds, which has resulted in trees coming down on the roads and blocking the roads, so Martin's been out clearing those this morning. So it's just been one thing after another, and we've now got all this rain, and it's just, it's better than the ice, but we could just do with it being nice and calm for a while. So so what else were we up to during the week? Well, we were just sort of battling the weather. That's about all we were doing. I'm just sort of trying to think now what we got coming up this week. Of course, it's going to be Christmas at the weekend. I've just been putting out some announcements on our local social media groups in the hope of picking up some meat orders. Might try and get them out. Well, we'll have to get them out this week if we get any orders. Although I should suspect most people have done their shopping by now, their food shops. Martin will be away on Thursday, so I've got no builders in this week, so I'm going to try and get rid of as much of this dust and dirt and give the place a really good clean up. The windows have been told to be ready January the 12th, so once the windows are in, then the rest of this wall can get knocked down. So hopefully we'll have a couple of weeks where it's clean, tidy, dust free, and quiet. I am working on a few other things, and I'm working at setting up a Patreon, and but I'll say more of that. That would be, I've already started uploading stuff onto it, but I'll be launching that properly in the new year 2023. I'm also over the Christmas holidays I'm going to finish tying that up, so that'll be ready to go, and the Patreon will be all different ways that we earn money off our small holding, and explaining exactly how we do them, etc. Also a lot of preserving and cooking, and on the self-sufficiency side, and there'll be printables there as well where people can actually print stuff off. So that's all coming about in the new year. Also in the new year we're going to be pushing the farm shop. I haven't really shown you the farm shop, but I will do. Yeah, so there's going to be more work on the farm shop, getting out to the farmers markets. There's an online farmers market that I'm interested in taking part of. What else have we got coming up in the new year? Over Christmas I'm going to be doing some more work on my website, so I'll be promoting that, and that's the crafts that I make and sell, and I also have them in the farm shop. So there's lots coming up in the new year. So I hope you'll come back and join us in 2023, and I hope some of you would feel like coming over to have a look at our Patreon to see what's happening on there. Yeah, so I'm going to show you some videos now of what's happening this week, or what has been happening this week. And yeah, so let's get on with that. Let's show you some of our winter wonderland. Right, we still have freezing conditions, and trying to get the water around to the animals a couple of times a day. So we're filling 50 of these in the morning, and that gets taken up to the buffalo, and then the containers come back and refilled and taken up to the next lot of buffalo. So that's 100 of these, and I think, are they 10-litre containers? So that'll be the buffalo's water until the evening, and then we have to repeat the whole process. So it's just as well we have got an endless supply of hot and cold, of hot water, because we're doing them half hot, half cold, because otherwise they'll just freeze by the time we get back up to the buffalo with them. So good old Rayburn gives us plenty of hot water. Now it may look like it's dark outside, but it's not. We've actually blocked the outside window openings with insulation while we're waiting for our new windows to arrive, which won't be for another 4 or 5 weeks, because there's lots of gaps around the top here, and having no windows out there means this place is just filling with cold air, and it's absolutely perishing in here in the morning. And I've actually put my foot down and said, we're not having this wall, it's all got to be knocked out, and it's not going to get knocked out now until we have got windows in place because the cold is just too unbearable. But hopefully next week it'll all thaw a bit and it'll be a bit warmer. Tonight's dinner, we're having curried goat. So I've got some diced goat, which is marinating in some curry powder, onion, garlic, ginger, thyme, chilli, pepper, black pepper, salt. And then that, after it's marinated for a couple of hours, it will be seared off in some vegetable oil, with some of our home canned carrots and home canned potatoes, and then it will be simmered for about an hour and a half, although I'm going to do it in the electric pressure cooker, so it'll take about 20 minutes. Yes, so that is tonight's dinner, and that will be served with some mango chutney and some rice. Pork liver pate on the go. It's got onions, garlic, porcini mushrooms, and it's now just cooking off in some red wine. Right, I just want to wind up the video for this week by saying I haven't really put together a meal plan as such, because I've just been and picked up sausages and that from the butchers. We are having sausages tonight. We're going to have the apple and cider sausages, pork sausages. We will also be having some pork steaks. I've got them on my list for this week. We did have what did we have last night? We had a roast goat shoulder last night. Next Sunday, well, of course, is Christmas Day, so we'll be having our usual, which is lobster and prawns and so forth. Just something a bit different for us. What else is there on the list for this week? Oh yes, yeah. Now, we were given the opportunity of trying Hello Fresh, of course, which is a meal delivery service where they deliver all the raw ingredients. And we've got 4 meals for 2 adults coming each week for the next 4 weeks, I think it is. and that cost me a total of £30 for the 4 weeks. So so the meals I went for, I tried to go for the ones that I didn't want anything with beef or pork, because we've got plenty of that here. And in these meal boxes, they deliver the meat, the vegetables, the spices, and a recipe card and everything else like that. So that is arriving. Our first one, I think, is arriving this Wednesday. So that will be for some of this week's meals. And I've gone for fish, and I've also gone for chicken, because we are down to the last little bit of our chicken now in the freezer. So I thought, well, I'll give these a try. It'll eke ours out a bit more. Yeah, so all these meals are going to be based around fish or chicken. So yeah, so I'll do a video on that when it all arrives and show you some of the meals that we'll be getting. So take care, everybody. Don't forget to hit subscribe. And have yourselves, if you don't catch up with me again beforehand, have yourselves a great Christmas. And even if you don't celebrate Christmas, we don't. So there's no Christmas decorations up here or nothing. We don't really do Christmas. To us, it's just a bit of a time spent together, and a bit of relaxation. You know, that's what it means to us. So yeah, so whatever it is you're doing, have yourself a great one. And if you're working through the holidays, of course, I feel really, really sorry for you. I've done it myself in the past, and so I will catch up with you all on the other side of Christmas. Well, it's probably actually be Boxing Day, what we call Boxing Day in the UK, which is the day after Christmas Day next year. So take care, folks, and don't forget to hit subscribe and hit that notification bell down below, and give the video a thumbs up, please, because that will help get the logarithms going. But if you hit the notification bell, you'll get a notification every time I upload a new video. Bye bye.